Okay, hello everybody. This is Rick Nichols, and I have with me, via the miracle of Zoom technology here, Babbu Gill from Ludhiana and Punjab, India, and just delighted to have this opportunity to speak with her this morning, and want her to share her ideas about how she came to know Louise and what it has done for her life and how she is continuing on with her Heal Your Life work. So, hello, Babbu, and welcome, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Namaste. Hi, Rick.
Hello, Babbu. Namaste.
Yeah.
And what brought you to Louise's work? What moved you to start looking into Louise, or was it just an accident?
Yeah. So actually, I was gifted her book many years back, about 25 years back.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a second-hand book. And we were in a place near Mumbai. My husband's in the army. So this gentleman, he had come from abroad. He was doing a course there. And he just gifted the book to me before he left. And it was the Heal Your Body. I went through it, but it didn't make much sense to me then. And I put it aside, like I've noticed a lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point of time in my life, things were not as, I would say I was not very pleased with the way things were happening in my life. I was a little unhappy with my surrounding situations. I was into a lot of blame, and I was not well. I didn't keep too well, as that was majorly what was happening to me.
And then
yeah.
Go ahead.
So that's the time I went in for meditation, started looking for different ways and different means to find a way out. And until, yes, I was asthmatic, and there were a lot of things that began to happen to me. There was a lot of anger inside of me. And when I moved away from Mumbai to Punjab, after my husband retired. By then I had been diagnosed with a lot of diseases.
Mm.
And one of them was they diagnosed me for abnormal cells of cancer in both the breast. They were not too sure, but I was asked to undergo surgery, etc. And I was always seething in anger and rage most of the time. I was angry with myself, with my conditioned surroundings. And that's when I came to an expo in Delhi, and that's where I met someone who told me about Louise. And then I said, oh, I have a book. And I was told that she's running workshops, or we have to go abroad to participate in them. So I did a one-day workshop in New Delhi. I didn't do the two-day workshop. I went through a kind of a seminar. And after that, I was clear that I needed to do this work, and I saw that I needed to do a lot of work on myself. Besides that, I was already a Vipassana meditator. I've been meditating for many years, and I was in an inquiry, but I didn't understand what was happening inside of me. There was no language. It was all silence. And there was nobody really to tell me how to go about it. I was just told to sit in silence. And somehow I'm a person who needed my questions to be answered. And that's how I came for the workshop. I came to Birmingham, and my life started. Journey began from there.
You went to the Heal Your Life teacher training in Birmingham then?
Yes, to Birmingham and with Patricia, yes.
Right, yeah. Many people are like that. They try meditation and a number of those kinds of things, but I'm sure it works for many people, but others of us need to have something to do. And that was my case. It was a similar kind of story. And as you know, we move through this Heal Your Life world that we live in. We hear a similar story over and over. It's either just unhappy, suicidal, depression, a dis-ease of some kind, and your inner guide will just take you to what you need. And of course, Louise's work, the beauty of it is that it's fundamental. It's very simple and easy to do. So you found, obviously, that it worked very well for you, and then you got extremely excited about extending that to other people so that they can heal from it as well, right?
Yes.
And from there, you began extending, and I have kind of looked over some of the things that you've been doing before we did this interview. And of course, I knew about many of them already, and would like for you to kind of explain the kind of work you've been doing, the areas that you've been working in, what courses you've taken in with Heal Your Life that you are now bringing out to the community in Punjab and all around India and indeed the world. I noticed a picture that I have here talking about a business, quantum healing, I think it was.
Yes.
That you had done.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So when I did the workshop and came back, and I noticed, went into an inquiry, of course, and Louise's work gave language to my silence. And that's really big for me, actually. I really began to understand every word she said, and I really began to understand what it means to be aware and, to become an observer. And it created magical, miraculous results in my life. So this institute that you're asking me about is an institute of quantum well-being, and it's run by somebody by the name of Tony. And I had already led a few workshops in Delhi, Heal Your Life, 2-day workshops in Delhi and in Ludhiana. So they invited me. They invite a number of people. They invite speakers, different people of alternate medicine to take sharing, and they invite people so that everybody can understand that there are other ways by which we could get supported and healed, and it was beautiful. So there were doctors there. There was a surgeon sitting out there, and there was another medical practitioner. There was a homeopathic doctor. There was a Reiki healer. There were people from all fields.
Wonderful.
And
we're looking at the picture now on the screen. Can you describe it? It appears as though you're in a committee on a platform or on a stage somewhere.
Yes.
Of what is it, 4 or 5 people, and you're speaking to a group. How many people are in the audience?
There were about 200 of them, approximately, and these were the different people from various fields and who had come to share and were sharing their experiences, how their particular work had worked for them. And that is where I shared about Louise's work and how simply it works for us, and about love, as love being the greatest healer. So I was questioned, and it was really beautiful and so empowering from the audience. And there were a lot of people who were moved to tears, which is really wonderful. And of course, there were lots of questions. But by the end of it, people began to look at the other side of just taking medication and going into surgeries.
Wonderful. And were you invited to that forum, or did you? I guess you had to be invited. It's not something you went out and marketed for, I'm sure.
No, I was invited. It was an invitation, and they'd been inviting me for a long time, and I accepted. And definitely it was an honor and a privilege to be there with people. People sitting next to me are doctors who've been in their profession for years. And it was really wonderful and a great privilege to be sitting out there and talking to them. And they understood everything that I said. And they seconded everything that I said, which was so beautiful for me. And explained in the medical language what could have happened inside of my healing, which was even very heartening.
Yeah, wonderful. So it's great to know that these highly educated people can actually resonate with a woman who didn't even finish high school and her
Yes.
amazing teachings. Isn't that delightful?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Well, let's jump from that to the kids' play shop
Yes.
that we're looking at here on the screen now. Could you tell me about that? Looks like a lot of fun you were having there.
Yes, I just love this. I mean, I just love it with kids, and I've noticed it takes 2 days for us adults to understand so much of what we are giving to them. And these kids get it all in almost one day. And it's so beautiful. And when I ask them about the unhappy messages, it's so beautiful. And one of them says, my mom says I'm out of my mind. So little fellow he was just 9. I said, what does that mean? He says, for me, it is that I'm mad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is it mad angry or
yes.
mad crazy?
Crazy.
Uh-huh. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was, and they come up with these most beautiful remarks, and they're so sensitive and they're so aware. And it's my learning each time I'm with them. And then I use a lot of those soap bubbles, and then I blow my anger away, and then they do that, and then here goes my guilt, and they do that, and that's the time we have a lot of fun, and they just keep doing all of that.
Yeah, kids are so much closer to their creator than we are. As we get older, unfortunately, it gets trained out of us that we're divine, and we got to go back as we become adults and refine it again. It's delightful to see this. This is a beautiful picture of you with this bunch of kids around you. Then I see where you went to the a seminar at the International Yoga.
Yes.
Was it a festival or?
Yes, it was the international day that is celebrated all over the world as the day for yoga.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was invited at this club, Lodi Club, where there were yoga teachers who performed yoga, and I spoke about mind, body, and spirit there for 1 hour along with yoga. So it was beautiful.
Was there a lot of the Heal Your Life stuff in that, or just in general mind, body, spirit?
No. It was about the Heal Your Life.
Mm-hmm.
And I took them through a meditation kind of. There was a large number of people, and they understood the mind-body connection, and then loving ourselves, how we would respect ourselves, love our body, taking care. So it went very beautifully with yoga as a way of taking care of our body, respecting our body, what we eat, what we think.
Okay, now we've been to a committee or a panel of intellectuals. Then we went to a seminar about yoga. And now we jumped over to some kids for a while. You're really covering a pretty wide spectrum here. Why don't we look at this one, in New Delhi, the Heal Your Life program.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
Yes, so I did the 2-day, I've done a number of 2-day Heal Your Life workshops in Delhi. In the past, lately, I haven't been for a little while now. And so this was, it was wonderful. There were people, there were entrepreneurs, a lot of women, and a lot of them in businesses. And here again, it was amazing how there were about 35 people, and each one from a different field, and how they experience loving themselves, and eventually how simple Louise's work is, her teachings, and really understanding what it means to love ourselves and experiencing the power that lies within us. And definitely a lot of forgiveness. Forgiveness works, because forgiveness is what really worked for me, Rick. I mean, releasing and letting go. Yeah, that's one thing that's really profound.
That's the cornerstone, of course, forgiveness. We say, the goal of her work is to love yourself, to learn to love yourself, which is, it's a wonderful thing to learn, but unfortunately we don't come with a switch where we can do that. And I think that what has to happen before we can really do that in a complete way is to forgive ourselves.
Yes.
So I agree. So you've gone now from all these we've discussed a moment over the last couple of moments. And now let's talk about the Heart and Mind Seminar at Envision Exports.
Yes. So here again, I was invited by the person who owns this company, because she did the Heal Your Life 2-day workshop with me. And her daughter did it as well. And then she lost her husband, who was running this, who owned this business.
Mm-hmm.
And she was having facing a few challenges in her company, and she requested me to come. So I was there in the month of August, and it was really a beautiful experience for me, and for her as well, sitting out there. And as usual, I spoke about loving ourselves and our PowerPoints. I discussed that with them, and of course from the heart and mind, and took them through a moment of silence.
Mm-hmm.
And that is when they all kind of just get centered, and then they all kind of came together, and there was a willingness to accept everything that I said to them, which was really wonderful inside.
Was that a one day, or was it the full?
It was not the full. It was just a short session.
Okay, but you did see some bonding and some relief, even in that short period of time.
Yeah.
Absolutely awesome. The range of the work that you're doing is very impressive. And I see that you did a seminar for 100 artists. What was the point of that one?
Yeah, so I'm an artist myself, actually, Rick. Before anything else, I'm gifted, and since the age of 4, I paint, and so there were these kids who had seen my paintings, and they invited me to this where there were these artists of Ludhiana, a lot of young children and artists who had put up their exhibits, and they wanted me to talk about how I am using this work and how creativity can get enhanced. So it was really wonderful, because it's all about creation, and it's all about love, and love creates, and it was so after my heart, and everything just unfolded so smoothly and beautifully with the children, and a lot of them came into my 2-day workshop after that seminar. It was a half-a-day session.
Awesome. Yeah. Yes. Well, the work is so very much needed around the world. And I just want you to know that Patricia and I are extremely proud of you and of all of our teachers all around the world. We have, it's amazing to us what came out of this work we started over 20 years ago, it was just Rick and Patricia doing some workshops here in California, and it has grown now to this global community whom we hold very dear, and we're so proud of the way that all of you are extending Louise's legacy around the world. And since she's left us now, well, she hasn't left us since she's left her body, so she can be with more of us at one time. But we are doing this on her behalf and on behalf of ourselves, our community, and in the entire world, because the more love, of course, that we can raise into the world, the sooner that it is going to transform. So we, Patricia and I, Josh and Sneha and Christy, here in sort of the corporate offices, are very grateful for you and the work you're doing, as we are everybody that's in this beautiful community. So thank you, Babbu, for taking these moments with me today and sharing yourself with your Heal Your Life family around the world.
Thank you so much, Rick. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Sneha, Shashank, Christy, and Louise, above all, for giving me this honor and this privilege. I'm grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I love you.
Love you, honey. Okay, this has been Rick Nichols and Babbu Gill talking about doing the work at the level that it needs to be done and sharing it in a wide variety of kind of ways around the world. So thank you for taking these few moments with us. And I would say to you, I love you. Namaste.
I love you. Namaste.